what was happening in my life at that time is that I put the finishing touches on NTI. Oh, did I not give the link? Oh, Lord Blue must have came in after I gave the link. Here you go, Blue. I was putting the finishing touches on NTI, and then in May of 2007, I sent NTI to the publisher. And when I sent NTI to the publisher, I was just overcome with this gratitude for having been a part of that, right? And not just for putting NTI into the world, but for having the benefit of being the first student of NTI, of reaping the benefits, of having the way that I see be changed, having, just realizations and, just the awakening process that occurred as I was the scribe and student and teacher of NTI. So when I sent it off to the publisher, I was just overwhelmed with this gratitude for, my God, what a magnificent gift to have been able to do this. Wow. And right after that, I had this feeling that I didn't want it to stop. I didn't want the growing, the awakening, the realizations, the letting go of ego. I didn't want it to stop. So I went and I said a prayer to Holy Spirit, and I prayed that Holy Spirit would, well, first I said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, for letting me write NTI. And then I asked, please send me something else that will take me higher into love. I literally said, I don't want it to stop now. Please send me something else that will take me higher into love. And I prayed that prayer in May of 2007, right after sending NTI to the publisher. And it was 2 weeks later that I met Laurent Eli Levy at Camp for Miracles in New Hampshire. And what I didn't realize when I first met him is that he was the something else that Holy Spirit sent me to bring me higher into love. What happened between May and August of 2007, from the time I met Laurent until August, is that I began to receive guidance to join with him as a couple, right? For us to join together. And it seems he was receiving the same guidance, so this wasn't one-sided. But we were both in resistance of the guidance to some degree. And so, we spent the summer getting to know each other over the phone. We had some very expensive phone bills, and we spent the summer talking about our guidance, and we spent the summer discussing our resistance. But it wasn't until the very end of July where we both seemed to realize we were going to say yes to this guidance, and that he was going to come to my house and live with me. So we're going to start looking at the messages that I received during my time with Laurent. There have been many opportunities in my life for healing. I've had opportunities for healing with Jasmine. I've had opportunities for healing with Ron. I've had opportunities for healing with, David Hoffmeister and just other people that have been in my life. At work, my old job, there were opportunities for healing. To be honest, and I guess this is perception, but can other people hear me? Yeah, because Karen is asking, so can you let her know if you can hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, well, you're right here. It is my perception, but I feel like the biggest step forward I took in healing was in my relationship with Laurent. And it was in August. I don't remember the exact date, but it was, after the 20th. It was in late August of 2007 that he arrived at my house, and that giant step forward started. What that means is, as we look at these messages, what you're going to hear are stories of healing. And stories of healing also include stories of, stories of ego. Because in order to let go of ego, we have to see it. I mean, that's really what the Course is all about. It's about bringing the ego out of denial, seeing it, and then choosing again. So what happened for me in my relationship with Laurent is that in some ways he was the perfect person to push my buttons. And lots and lots of really painful thoughts were seen in my own mind. And then Spirit helped me to make the decision to let go of those thoughts. And after a year and a half with Laurent, there had been a lot of change. What came next actually was the inner Ramana shortly after Laurent left. And by the time I had gone through my year and a half with Laurent and then my practice with inner Ramana, I would say the change in me, in the way I perceive, in the way I think, in the way I feel, it's quite dramatic. So I feel like what I'm about to begin tonight is to tell you really a love story. It's the story of how I fell into love. It's the story of how I fell into love. So I'm really grateful to be here, really grateful to be beginning, the many months it will take to tell this story. Also, I haven't looked at these messages, not once, since Laurent left, so I'm really excited to look at these messages again, from a different perspective and see what I see in them.